Hello. Are you one of the millions of people who suffers with a focus problem, a concentration problem, a brain fog problem? If you are one of these millions of people in the United States, as well as in other parts of the world, who suffers with a brain fog problem, you deserve to hear what Edward has to share with you right now. We're going to take a break and I'll be back in just a moment. Let's hear what he's got to say. How bad was your brain fog? 10 is the worst that it could ever be.
I'd say a 9.5.
9.5. And you told me that when you were in high school, for you to study for a test and pass a test was like
The morning
nothing.
of or the night before.
The morning of, and you could just, you'd read it and you'd memorize everything,
Right.
photographic memory. And then it became to the point where as the years progressed, it became
Just nothing could congeal in my mind. It got to where it was debilitating migraines and affecting my job, affecting my work, my ability to concentrate, focus on a problem, or even remember where I last left off on a problem to solve. Throbbing pain, it would just kind of settle in as a large weight.
and those were every day.
Yeah, it
And it
happened every day.
totally gone now.
Yeah, totally gone. With fatigue and sleep apnea, I would estimate 4 years. Waking up, just gasping, choking.
I thought he was going to end up dying one day. I would wake up and he was like not breathing because it was really bad. He would not breathe for, it seemed like over a minute or so, and then he'd just like wake up and just try to grab a breath because he wasn't breathing at all.
And now,
Yeah, now that's not even there.
not even there. Heart palpitations as well?
Yes, I was having those. It got to the place where it was happening daily, like
Daily?
twice a day.
And how many
Yes.
weeks or years?
Years.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say at least 2 years.
How quickly within that first protocol did you notice that your heart palpitations stopped?
It's hard to say because my memory was bad at the time. It hadn't been cued as time got on, but I don't even notice when it stopped. I just know that now it's gone.
How much better would you say your brain capacity, your brain function is now compared to what it was before you came here, compared to what it was for years?
I believe it's at least 80%
At
of
least
what
80.
it used to be at my peak,
Mhm.
and I feel like I have a new body. I feel like I'm in a new, fully functioning body that I didn't have before.
Isn't that just incredible? Here is a man who's got like genius brain function, computer programmer, and all of a sudden he just can't remember things. He can't focus. Hard to even hold a job. He also suffered from, which you'll hear more at the end of this video, I'm going to share the whole testimonial. He had sleep apnea, terrible fatigue, heart palpitations, headaches, shortness of breath, and a twisting, crowded, knotting type of symptom in his abdomen. All of these symptoms, he's got incredible, incredible results, as he's very happy to share with you in his glowing testimonial. My name is Dr. Lonnie Herman, and I'm proud to share with you the results from his unique exam steps that I did with him to find the hidden causes of his condition. He had gone to multiple doctors over the years. Nobody could find anything. All these doctors could not find anything wrong besides what he was telling them. He looked normal to them, but there was nothing that was showing up in the labs as any kind of abnormal finding. And so somebody referred them to my clinic. They stumbled upon my work. They become a great referral source because the incredible results that they're getting from this work is really incredible. And at the end of this video, again, as I said a moment ago, you're going to hear his whole testimonial. Also, just before that testimonial, I'm going to make you a free offer. You shouldn't refuse. It's going to benefit you. First, I'm going to share with you the unique exam findings that I discovered. I'll give you a bit more of an understanding and help you to, as Steve Jobs put it, to think different. Think different. We have to step outside of the conventional way of thinking and conventional systems to figure out what's wrong with the body, to help find those different, what I'll tell you, hidden infections and toxins that get into the brain, that get into the organs, that cause the malfunction of the body. When we can find those, pinpoint them, and safely and effectively help the body expel them from the body, extract them from the tissue and expel them from the body with these highly effective and safe quantum energized formulas that we provide that are customized from the unique exam findings, which I'll get into right now. There is more information on my website. I'll show you more in just a few minutes about how to look around on my website and be able to gain more of an understanding, okay? So how Edward was able to get such an incredible recovery with his brain, get rid of the fatigue, get rid of the apnea, get rid of the heart palpitation, the headaches, the shortness of breath, the memory problem, the twisting in the abdomen. I found with him, he had a sensitivity, which I can describe more on my food analysis page on my website. He had a real serious sensitivity to the creamer that he used in his coffee every day. And he needed energy, so he was drinking coffee thinking that the caffeine would boost him, but this was making him worse. The coffee creamer caused a serious problem. The reason was he had activated mast cells in his kidneys. The kidneys help you regulate energy. The kidneys help you regulate blood pressure. By the way, that's their purpose really, is to help your body regulate blood pressure. Blood pressure, oxygen to brain. Not too much, not too little. When the kidneys are stressed, fatigue can happen. Your adrenal gland, you might have heard of when you're dealing with fatigue, the adrenal gland sits right on top of the kidney. When the kidney is stressed, the adrenal can be stressed. The activated mast cells that I found, we neutralized them with a very effective quantum energized formula. The activated mast cell, you can learn more about that in another video that I did. We'll show you here a picture of it. The mast cell activation syndrome video that I have up on my YouTube channel. I also found his kidneys were stressed every time he had the creamer in his coffee, stressed them that an inflammatory protein called MMP9 was stressing his kidneys, and this protein his body made in response to the inflammation. So that stressed him. Chlorine, a large amount of chlorine saturated his kidneys over the years. We've got bathing water, showering water, drinking water, chlorine from even years past. Even if you're using a perfect filtered or distilled water now, go back 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 5 years ago, the water that you drank and you bathed in or swam in gets absorbed through the skin, absorbed into the organs. It was stressing his kidneys. Fluoride, stressing his kidneys. Scabies, itch mites. Scabies infection in the kidneys, in the adrenals. His adrenals also had the MMP9 inflammatory protein and the activated mast cells. He had multiple viruses like Epstein-Barr and influenza and a few others, cytomegalovirus and a few others, stressing his spleen. The spleen is part of your circulatory system, your lymph, your detox, cardiovascular, immune, and lymph systems. When the spleen is stressed with viruses, everything else in the body is going to become stressed. Everything connected to your lymph, everything connected to your immune system and cardiovascular system can now work at a less than normal pace. Cardiovascular is not just the heart. We're talking blood vessels in the brain, blood vessels to organs, to bones, to muscles, to the ears, to the eyes, to the sinuses, to the thyroid, to the prostate, to the intestines. So the spleen, when it's stressed, a domino effect can occur and cause other systems to not work so well. I found that there was a malaria parasitic infection affecting his brain. I found the malaria infection affecting his lungs. I found C. diff bacteria affecting his thyroid. I found Marcons, M-A-R-C-O-N-S, that's an acronym for a certain type of bacteria, Marcons bacteria affecting his thyroid. Lyme infection affecting his thyroid, scabies infection affecting his thyroid, Clorox bleach. Nobody gave him bleach to drink, but breathing in the chemicals, just like inhaling cigarette smoke, causes toxic effect to the lungs and the brain and the body because your lungs help you get oxygen into your blood. Anything you breathe in, any toxic cleaning detergent that you're breathing in can easily get into your blood, and the blood carries that toxic chemical to your brain, to your thyroid, to your organs. I found the Clorox affecting his thyroid. Thyroid is really important to help you get oxygen to brain. Thyroid is important for your metabolism. Thyroid hormones are incredibly important in the body. His stomach had parasitic infection. His stomach had activated mast cells. The meninges around the brain and spinal cord that are connected to the brain and spinal cord, when the meninges are stressed with inflammation, they can stress the nervous system, causing any symptom in the body. Activated mast cells affecting his meninges, activated mast cells affecting his hippocampus of his brain. The hippocampus is memory center, the frontal lobe of the brain, memory, speech, cognitive performance, concentration. The frontal lobe had activated mast cells. His liver had the C. diff bacteria. That was September of 21. He came back February of 22, already feeling incredibly different. Incredibly different. You're going to hear his full testimonial at the end. You heard some highlights of it in the beginning. I'll tell you what I found with him in this next exam. He had the influenza virus affecting his brain, ochra toxin, mold toxin, dangerous toxin, ochra, OCHRA toxin, and multiple molds affecting the hippocampus of his brain. He had these ticks. He was sitting on let's say a boat, and all these bug bites happened pretty quickly. So he knew there was a problem. So we found these ticks affecting his brain, no-see-um bugs affecting his brain. Also in his past, he had eaten, there is a certain cheeseburger from a certain fast food company, I won't name the name, but that food is found to be fake. And the chemicals from that particular cheeseburger from that particular company, because it's not real meat, that food, and there's a video online that shows this particular cheeseburger, people left it outside of the refrigerator for several years and it never decayed. No ants, no mold, no maggots, nothing happened to it. I found the chemicals from that particular cheeseburger in the frontal lobe of his brain, stressing him, in the kidneys, stressing him, in his liver, stressing him. I found residues from the tetanus shot in the kidneys, and dental anesthesia chemicals that numb the tooth. Those migrated from the teeth up into the frontal lobe, part of the memory and concentration part of the brain. The chemicals were there. How do I find these things? Why have your doctors never told you about these things I'm telling you about? Well, they're still thinking in the conventional manner. Maybe they're doing functional medicine, not deep enough. Maybe they're doing x-rays, or they're taking blood tests, not deep enough. I've done it before. Maybe they're running hormone panels, or they're running stool tests on you, not deep enough. So there are certain chemicals that get into the brain and the body from regular procedures you've had done, like a dental procedure. I'm not knocking the dentist. I am not knocking the drug company that made the anesthetic to use in your mouth to fill a cavity or pull a tooth. Not at all. Just understand that just like ink from a tattoo goes in the skin and stays there, you might fade a little bit over time, but the ink is still there for the rest of your life and beyond. When any chemical gets in your body, it can stain like a tattoo, so to speak. It can stain any part of your body and stay there like a tattoo does. Like a dental anesthetic goes from the mouth, it can go right through the blood vessels or nerves into your thyroid, into your brain, into your kidney, causing pain, causing a sleep apnea, causing brain fog, causing a thyroid condition, causing sinus inflammation, causing you having a congested sinus all the time. And they look up in your nose and don't see any infection or swelling. Understand, any infection and any chemical from a bug bite, from a dog bite, from interacting with other humans, things get in our body and they cause us stress. I'm going to invite you now to download your free copy of my ebook. It's how you can reverse your seemingly incurable diseases with quantum energized medicine protocols. And this book is only 40 pages. It's very simple to read. Simple to read. These 40 pages, there's big pictures and big font that we used. It's not full of words on every page. That's going to be a long read for you. If your brain is not working well enough because of your brain fog, maybe it will take you a little more time. Maybe you have a family member or friend read it for you and to you to help you understand. But it's pretty simple to read. There's 3 links in my book. One to a very unique food assessment page that type of exam that I perform here in my clinic. Very unique. And without getting too deep into it, I will tell you that there's a term, and we'll put a picture up here of a model of the body, a clay model of the body called the homunculus. And the homunculus is a strip of brain tissue that helps to regulate all the functions of the body and connected to the tongue. So with this food exam, with the tongue strategy, I won't get too deep into it now, but the tongue strategy that I've developed, we can find, it's so precise. It's such a deep, reading right into your body and finding that a food like a coffee creamer or like salt or sugar has triggered a virus or a fungus in your brain or in your lungs or in your thyroid or in your stomach or your kidney, causing you a symptom that you're dealing with. And you would never even realize that food, or even a doctor could tell you to stay away from that food, but you are what you eat. So the food is stored into the tissue and keeps on triggering that virus or that fungus or that mold or the parasite or the bacteria in your brain, in your adrenal gland, in your stomach, in your bones, in your muscles, anywhere, in your brainstem, triggers those infections to thrive and cause you symptoms. So look at the food exam page on my website. Also, go to another page on my website that in the book, click on the link that will take you to another page about my unique dental examination process that I perform with people. I have found over the past 12 years of working with biological dentists, I have found multiple different infections hidden underneath crowns, in root canals, in the jawbone. So look around on my website on that dental page and get to know more. It's not too much to do for you. It's not too much time it'll take from you, but you can click on certain pictures, watch certain videos. Pretty easy to follow. Okay? And on the very last page of my book, I'm going to show you this image now. You click on this link on the very last page of the book. It'll take you to a private page on my website. And on this private page, you will sit back easily in your chair, on your phone, on your computer, on your television, and watch this 42-minute video that I produced to help you understand my journey of me as a physician, to help be the one for you, to help you get better, number one. And number two, the second half of the video, I describe some overview of the type of science and the method that I'm using here to find these different kinds of exam findings I described to you, like what I did for Mr. 𝐇𝐎𝐿 here, Edward, and that helped him get better. Okay? Now, for you, you're different than him. You're different than him. Everybody's different than one another. You can have, there could be 10 people in the room with brain fog, 10 people in the room with apnea, with shortness of breath, with memory problems and focus problems. And each of those people has different causes. Each has different causes. So your body, your brain, your condition that we have to help you overcome that condition, that disease, those symptoms, is a puzzle. And if we look at the puzzle, let's say you went to a hobby store and you like the Statue of Liberty, and you find a puzzle box by the ABC Puzzle Company, and that puzzle box has only 10 big pieces that you put together to make a 3-foot by 5-foot puzzle of the Statue of Liberty. And the more you look in that puzzle box section, there's another Statue of Liberty puzzle, the same identical picture as the ABC Puzzle Box Company picture, made by the XYZ Company. 3-foot by 5-foot, identical picture when they're done, yet the XYZ Company is 500 pieces. It's going to take you a bit longer to put together 500 pieces than it is 10 pieces. The outcome is liberating you, Statue of Liberty, liberating you from your symptoms, from your disease. Yet it might take you longer than it took him. No matter how hard we try, you might just have 500, so to speak, pieces of the puzzle, multiple different infections and toxins that have gotten into your brain and your body that make you feel these strange symptoms that no other doctor has been able to find the causes of and help you overcome. So again, like Steve Jobs said, we got to think different. We've got to stop conventional thinking. We've got to step outside the box and start to look at your body in a different way. And that's what I do. It provides you a safe and effective manner of extracting these different infections and toxins that evaded your doctors over the years and help you expel them from your body so that you can reclaim your brain and your body and restore your health. I look forward to helping you. Now, you can become a patient here by calling my clinic at 954-370-3100. That's 954-370-3100. Or you can email my clinic at clinic@drlonnieherman.com. We'll leave the email address up here for a little while. You can contact my lovely, friendly, happy to help you clinic assistant who will help you schedule your appointments with me. Now, even before you do contact her through phone or by email, you can go on my website and go to this FAQ page, or frequently asked question page. And we do help people from across the United States and other countries who come to my clinic here, from many other parts of the world, by the way. I'll just tell you, on the FAQ page, we're very transparent. We're showing you as much of the most commonly asked questions that we could put together. So maybe even before you contact my clinic, you can look at that page and you'll have answers already answered there, or questions already answered there. Now, fortunately, I can help you achieve better health. Unfortunately, your insurance is not going to recognize the work. So this will be an investment in yourself. But we can help you achieve better health, okay? I look forward to helping you. I will see you soon. Mr. 𝐇𝐎𝐿, I'm going to list a bunch of different symptoms that you had before you had started with me. And then we can go over the severity of those symptoms, what they were, and where you have gotten right now with their first protocol, okay? So your first, one of the symptoms, and I'll list them all, brain fog was a terrible problem. Your memory, you had memory loss. How old are you?
35.
35. So at 35, brain fog, memory loss, you had shortness of breath, You had headaches. You had an abdominal twisting or knotting feeling. You had fatigue. You had sleep apnea. How many months or years did you live with all of these symptoms?
With fatigue and sleep apnea, I would estimate 4 years.
4 years. For the memory problem?
For the memory problem has kind of been there since my late 20s. And it wasn't so bad as it eventually got in the last year. I would say everything exponentially became problematic to a just extreme degree.
Extreme.
And to where it was...
And to where you were even trying to find words to say or even try to remember what you read?
I'm a software developer, 16 years in the IT field. I started off as I was 18 in systems administration and been working in government, in the public sector, transportation, supporting large companies.
So as a software developer, you got to be pretty smart, I would
Right.
think.
And I felt like I was losing my career.
Yeah. If 0 to 10, 10 is the worst that the fatigue could have been, and 0 means that there's no fatigue, how bad was the fatigue for you? And 10 means exhausted, like can't get out of bed, can't function.
I would say I got to an 8 at the worst.
So an 8 at the worst, okay.
Yeah.
You had heart palpitations as well?
Yes, I was having those.
For years.
For years.
Mhm.
How long was the abdominal twisting or knotting or crowded feeling in your intestines? How long did you experience that?
About 2 weeks or so after Father's Day of this last year, that began and ended after middle of our treatments.
Middle of the treatment. So you had that for many months, and then it just like within weeks of starting the treatment that I provided you, it just disappeared.
Yes.
Yeah. Your brain fog. Brain fog on a scale of 0 to 10. 10 means it's just in a fog. I can't think at all. I can't put words together. I can't carry conversation. I can't remember what I read. How bad was your brain fog? 10 is the worst that it could ever be.
I'd say a 9.5.
9.5. And you told me that when you were in high school, you had such a sharp brain that you could, like you were like photographic memory. You could read something, for you to study for a test and pass a test was like
The morning
nothing.
of or the night before.
The morning
Just
of, and you could
get it
just,
all.
you'd read it and you'd memorize everything.
Right.
Photographic memory. And then it became to the point where as the years progressed, it became,
Just nothing could congeal in my mind. It just would just skim off the surface.
Mhm.
These ideas were hard to eventually, nail down and solidify.
your apnea. What was the type of, what was happening to you when you were trying to sleep at night?
Waking up, just gasping, choking. Sometimes you would have to, right? Honey, you're not breathing. I'd wake
Yeah.
up and have to turn over.
I thought he was going to end up dying one day. I would wake up and he was like not breathing because it was really bad. He would not breathe for, it seemed like over a minute or so, and then he'd just like wake up and just try to grab a breath because he wasn't breathing at all.
And now?
Yeah, now that's not even there.
Not even there. The
Yeah.
heart palpitations, how often did you have those prior to this first treatment with me?
In 2018, it was really, really severe. I thought I had a heart attack. I had a job. I had to leave.
I went to the emergency room.
They couldn't find out what was going on. I guess whatever was happening didn't happen at the same time. They were doing the EKG.
Right. What was the other test?
They had this instrument they had here and here to see inside and visualize my heart and
Yeah.
watch it function.
And they couldn't find a problem.
Couldn't-
So it was happening when you weren't at the doctor, you weren't at the hospital. It was happening when you were in the hospital. It didn't happen.
Right.
So when they ran their tests on you, they said there's really nothing wrong. We can't see anything.
Because I wasn't having the episode at the time.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
an intermittent,
Yeah. And that, how often did that heart palpitation, how often did that heart symptom occur? Was that daily? Was that just a few times a
It
week?
was happening. It got to the place it was happening daily, like
Daily?
twice a day.
And how many
Yes.
weeks or years?
Years.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say at least 2 years.
So it was daily for 2 years.
Right.
Up
It
until
kind
you-
of slowed down a little bit and helped with diet,
Mhm.
but I don't think it completely subsided.
Never completely
into-
subsided. And when was the last time you had heart palpitations? And you started your protocol. You've been done with this protocol actually for how long ago did you finish it?
I finished it maybe not even a whole month ago.
Not even a month ago.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago, yeah.
So you came to us near the, it was in the fourth quarter, I think it was, of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And so how quickly within that first protocol did you notice that your heart palpitations stopped?
It's hard to say because my memory was bad at the time. It hadn't been healed as time got on, but I don't even notice when it stopped. I just know that now it's gone.
It's just gone.
And I mean, the biggest thing with that, like the chest pains when I was able to go to sleep, as I'm falling asleep, I would experience those, and my sleep became just like it was when I was.
Sleep was
I
great.
couldn't even remember it when I was really young. It was
Awesome.
great.
Congratulations, I'm happy. Headaches, how bad were they? 0 to 10, if 10 is the worst headache.
It got to where it was debilitating migraines and affecting my job, affecting my work, my ability to concentrate, focus on a problem, or even remember where I last left off on a problem to solve. And yeah, it was.
Did you
it
feel
had to
like
be
there was
late
like
at
a
night.
vice around your skull, like crushing kind of feeling? Was it a throbbing? Was it a?
It was throbbing.
It was a throbbing pain.
Yeah, throbbing pain. It would just kind of settle in as a large weight.
And those were every day.
Yeah, it
And
would
it
happen every day.
totally gone now.
Yeah, totally gone. It would almost feel like the effects of it when it was happening was almost kind of when you're, inhaling like a bad paint thinner or something. You feel lightheaded. It started to scare me. It scared my wife a lot too,
Mm.
especially when I couldn't name objects. I couldn't remember something that we just spoke about, like
The prior conversation.
Prior conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
literally. Yeah, it was really bad.
At this point, how much better after just one protocol and within weeks of starting it, how much better would you say your brain capacity, your brain function is now compared to what it was before you came here, compared to what it was for years?
I believe it's at least 80%
At
of
least
what
80.
it used to be at my peak,
Mhm.
and I feel like I have a new body. I feel like I'm in a new, fully functioning body that I didn't have before.
Now, we just examined you this past Saturday, so wait till that protocol, and I'll tell you all about what I found in him in his first exam, that he followed that protocol to get rid of the chronic hidden infections and toxins that made all these symptoms happen. That when we got rid of them or helped him eliminate them safely and effectively, these symptoms just disappeared. They just disappeared. What I just found with you in this recent exam, that's your brain is going to be probably better than it ever was. That's what I think. The brain fog feels like it's gone. The memory, you're just a little bit still there that needs to be tweaked on that to get to be 100%. But the shortness of breath went away. Headaches, migraines are gone. Yeah, the heart palpitations are gone. The fatigue, does that feel like it's gone 100%?
Not 100%. I would say 90%.
90%.
Yeah.
The apnea is gone.
The apnea is gone.
Sleep apnea, gone. No breathing machine, nothing. And the abdominal twisting,
Completely gone.
completely
It's
gone.
There.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
High five for that
Yeah,
one.
that's awesome.
Awesome.